Hello, everyone. Todd Lowry here from Prime Lending. Happy Friday. As always, Fridays we wear red to remember everyone deployed. Today I wanted to talk about something called Tidewater and how it relates to a VA loan appraisal. So, on your typical appraisal, let's say a conventional loan, right? House is listed, you negotiate on a purchase price, all that kind of stuff. And then typically, part of the process is we will send out an appraiser to figure out what the house is worth, both to protect the buyer to make sure they're not buying, overpaying drastically for something unwittingly, right? And then also protect us as a lender. We don't want to lend a whole bunch of money if the house isn't worth that much, right? So we'll send out an appraiser, and on a conventional loan, the appraiser will come back and they will say, okay, this house is worth $200,000, for example. And so as long as that's, over or at the purchase price that everyone was intending, we should be good to go. We move forward. Okay. Now let's say the appraiser says that the house is worth 200,000, but the purchase contract had been made for 220,000. Well, at that point, we have to either do something called bridging the gap on the appraisal. You got to come up with that money just in cash, add that to your down payment, right? Or we have to renegotiate, like, hey, the house isn't really worth 220, it's only worth 200, and there may be some negotiation that goes on, and it could make a deal fall apart. The sellers may have had a cash offer for 215. They're not going to negotiate with you down to 200. They'll just take that backup cash offer, right? So an appraisal coming in low is necessary if the house isn't worth that much, but it can be unfortunate. It can mess up the deal. So with VA appraisals, we have something called Tidewater. So on that conventional appraisal, you could make some arguments with the appraiser on why you think that the value should be higher. You could show some comparable sales that had been, nearby in the last 6 months that would support the value, all that kind of stuff. But at that point, the appraiser has already told you what they have determined as a professional that does this for a living, what the house is worth, and you're trying to get them to see it your way and change their mind. On a VA appraisal, before the appraiser is going to give you that value, that appraisal that says, hey, this is only worth 200,000, they will reach out to us and they will say, hey, it looks like I might end up being a little bit short on this. Can you show me what I'm missing? Can you give me those comparables and that kind of stuff? And it's just more of a collaborative effort. So we'll get with the realtors. We'll say, hey, how did you determine the value of this house? How did we arrive at, let's buy this place for 220,000, right? They will submit those, and then the appraiser may agree and come up to 220. They may disagree and stay down at 200, or they may partially agree. They may come closer to that 220 point. Maybe put us in a better spot to still be able to negotiate, right? And so it's pretty simply any appraisal that comes in short, you could argue and say you think it should be worth more. On a VA appraisal, if it's about to come in short, it's just more of a collaborative way to hopefully get the value that we want so that people can buy the house and we all agree on it. So there is another thing past this. It's called a desktop review. I will follow up with that in another video because this one's already going a little bit long. But yeah, basically, I think it's an advantage on a VA appraisal that we're working with the appraiser, not necessarily trying to get them to admit they were wrong or overturn their own opinion. I think it makes the VA offer a stronger offer, and one of the reasons I like the VA loan. So as always, call, text, email, any questions. That's what I'm here for, and I will see you next Friday.